Okay, let's get into this. Picture this. You're facing, I don't know, just a huge pile, like an Everest of research papers.
Hmm.
And each one feels like this dense, impenetrable jungle, right?
Yeah.
With its own jargon, hidden data, whether you're trying to learn a new field, prep for a big meeting, or you just have that curiosity itch. That mountain of literature can feel, well, honestly, pretty overwhelming.
Oh, absolutely. It's a feeling so many of us know. The sheer speed,
Mm
the velocity of new discoveries, new publications.
hmm.
It means staying really informed feels less like a goal and more like, you're just constantly chasing.
Exactly. And that's really why we're doing this deep dive today. We're looking at something that aims to be more than just another tool. It's kind of positioning itself as a like a companion for navigating this knowledge explosion. We're talking about SciSpace.
Right. SciSpace.
Yeah.
It's an AI-powered platform, and it's definitely making waves, creating a lot of buzz around how we interact with scientific research.
hmm.
Think of it like a smart assistant, but one designed specifically for academic papers.
Yeah, Buzz might even be putting it mildly. We're hearing it's being used in places like Harvard, Stanford, MIT institutions known for cutting-edge research.
That definitely gets your attention.
It really does. So our mission today is, well, pretty simple. We want to really understand what SciSpace offers, how it works as this potential lifeline for researchers, students, professionals. Does it genuinely change how we learn?
And ultimately, for you, the listener, we want to shed some light on whether it can truly reshape that whole, often incredibly time-consuming process of making sense of complex information. We're hoping to find some real insights here.
Fingers crossed for some clarity then. So let's jump right in. SciSpace isn't just a fancier search engine, is it? It sounds like it offers something way more interactive.
Precisely. I mean, the search is good, definitely powerful, but the real innovation, I think, lies in its role as an AI research assistant. Imagine having this incredibly well-read colleague, always on call, ready to help you unpack even the trickiest papers.
Okay, and that brings us to this feature that sounds pretty transformative, the AI chat for papers. How does that actually work?
It's pretty cool, actually. So
Mm,
picture this. You upload a really dense research article. Instead of spending hours reading, highlighting, taking notes just to get the gist, you can ask the AI specific questions.
like what kind of questions?
Anything, really. Summarize the key findings, explain this technical term. What was the main limitation of this study? And the AI synthesizes the information, gives you summaries in plain language, demystifies jargon, breaks down complex methods, and it does it remarkably fast.
Can you give it a practical example? Like, how would someone actually use that day to day?
Sure. Think about a biology student maybe grappling with a new paper on CRISPR gene editing.
Okay.
They might get stuck on the details of how a specific guide RNA works.
Hmm.
Instead of getting totally bogged down, searching everywhere, they could just ask the AI chat, hey, what's the specific function of this guide RNA in this experiment? And boom, they get a targeted, easy-to-understand answer almost instantly.
Wow, okay. That's not just saving time. That sounds like it could seriously boost understanding right from the start, frees up your brain for the bigger picture stuff.
Exactly.
But what about finding the right papers in the first place? That massive ocean of publications.
Right, that's the first hurdle, isn't it? SciSpace tackles this with its literature search. It goes beyond just matching keywords.
Hmm.
It has these pretty advanced filtering options. You can narrow things down by field, author, date, and importantly by relevance.
Relevance is key. We've all waded through pages of search results that are only vaguely related.
Tell me about it.
Yeah.
And what's really clever here is the AI's ability to suggest connections you might miss. It can surface, say, foundational papers that today's research is built on, or maybe studies in related fields you hadn't even thought to look at. It's like tracing the family tree of an idea.
So for someone actively researching, how might that play out?
Okay, imagine a researcher looking into, say, solar cell efficiency. They use SciSpace to find the latest stuff, sure. But the AI can also analyze the citation networks, who cited whom, and lead them back to maybe some crucial older studies that really shaped the field. It helps build a much richer picture.
Okay, so it helps find papers, helps understand them with the chat, but sometimes you just need to dive into the full PDF, right? Does SciSpace help make that process less painful too?
It does. That's where the PDF upload and analysis feature comes in.
Right.
You upload your PDF, and the platform doesn't just, show it to you. It actively analyzes it.
So.
It can identify key information, generate automatic summaries maybe of the whole paper or just specific sections, and, crucially, it allows that same interactive questioning we talked about, but now right within the context of the full document.
Ah, so it's like having a study buddy who's already read the paper and can say, hey, look at this part, or here's what this means.
That's a pretty good way to put it. And what's really powerful, I think, is how it can lower the barrier when you're exploring fields outside your own expertise.
How do you mean?
Well, let's say you're a computer scientist getting into bioinformatics. You find this genetics paper,
Yeah.
dense stuff.
Yeah.
You upload it, and you can ask the AI to explain the biological concepts or the lab methods in terms an engineer would understand. It really helps bridge those disciplinary gaps.
That sounds incredibly useful. So much innovation happens at those intersections these days. Now, research is rarely done alone. What about teamwork? Collaboration?
Good point. It addresses that with the collaborative workspace feature. This lets research teams work on the same documents together, right inside SciSpace.
Well, everyone can see the same thing.
Yep. They can add shared annotations, highlight important bits for each other, have discussions that are directly linked to specific paragraphs or figures in the paper. It really helps streamline that whole collaborative review process.
Sounds great for formal research groups. What about, say, students in a study group?
Oh, absolutely. Imagine a bunch of grad students prepping for comps, tackling a reading list together.
Okay.
They can use the workspace to share notes, argue about interpretations, track where everyone's at. It could also be great for classrooms. Instructors could see how students are engaging with the material.
Okay, so finding, understanding, collaborating. It covers a lot. Now let's hit on something that causes mild panic in many academics. Citations, bibliographies.
Hmm.
Any help there?
Yes, definitely. It has citation and reference tools. These basically automate that incredibly fiddly process of formatting citations, APA, MLA, Chicago, you name it.
Oh, thank goodness.
Right. It also helps you manage your reference library and pop those citations straight into your manuscript.
Anyone who's spent a weekend checking commas in a reference list will appreciate that.
It's a massive time saver,
Hmm.
especially for dissertations or big reports where you've got hundreds of citations. Errors creep in so easily.
So we see what it does, but what's the tech behind it? What's making the AI smart enough to do all this?
Okay, so under the hood, it's mainly driven by natural language processing, NLP, and some pretty sophisticated machine learning models.
Trained on lots of academic papers, I assume?
Exactly, a huge amount of text. This lets the AI models really grasp the nuances of scientific language, pull out the meaning, and give those explanations we were talking about.
And it uses transformer-based models. That sounds advanced.
It is. It's state-of-the-art AI. Transformers are particularly good at understanding context, how words relate to each other in sentences, and even across whole documents. That's why SciSpace can go way beyond simple keyword matching and actually interpret complex ideas.
So it's not just finding the word bias. It understands if you mean statistical bias versus, say, social bias in the context of the paper.
Precisely. That deep contextual understanding is really a game changer. If you ask about, I don't know, the p-value in a study, the AI knows you're asking about statistical significance, not just looking for the letter P.
That's a huge leap. What about older papers, maybe PDFs that are scans, not perfect digital text?
Yeah, that's a common issue. SciSpace uses PDF parsing and OCR, optical character recognition.
OCR.
Right, so it can basically read the text, even from image-based PDFs or scans that aren't perfectly clear, extract it, and structure it so the AI can then analyze it properly.
That's brilliant for anyone who's tried to copy-paste from a bad scan. Okay, so with all this power, who really benefits most from SciSpace?
Well, the benefits are pretty wide-ranging. For students, like we touched on, it's like having a super patient tutor available 24/7.
Right.
It breaks down tough concepts. Imagine maybe a physics undergrad hitting a wall with quantum mechanics equations. SciSpace could explain the variables, the relationships, make it less intimidating.
And for researchers under pressure to keep up?
Oh, for researchers, the big win is efficiency, time. Being able to quickly summarize papers, pinpoint key findings, it massively speeds up literature reviews.
So they can spend less time digging and more time thinking.
Exactly. Think of a neuroscientist looking at fMRI studies. They could rapidly scan the methodologies and results of dozens of papers to focus their deep reading on the most relevant ones.
What about educators, people trying to teach this stuff?
Educators can definitely use it too. It can help translate dense research into more digestible content for lectures or class discussions.
Like taking a complex climate change report.
Yeah, and using SciSpace to pull out the key takeaways or find simplified explanations of the models involved. Makes it easier to create teaching materials.
And it seems like it would be amazing for people working across different fields, those interdisciplinary innovators.
Absolutely critical for them. Bridging knowledge gaps is key. an engineer moving into, say, biomedical applications. They can use the AI to quickly get up to speed on the relevant biology or medical concepts. It fosters that cross-pollination of ideas.
So it really supports learning and collaboration in a lot of ways. How does it stack up against tools people might already use, like Google Scholar, ResearchGate?
That's a fair question. Google Scholar is fantastic for finding papers via keywords and tracking citations, but it doesn't really help you understand them at this level. The AI explanations, the deep PDF analysis that SciSpace is at.
And ResearchGate.
ResearchGate is more about networking, sharing your own work, maybe asking questions to other researchers. It's valuable, but again, it doesn't have that core AI comprehension engine for analyzing papers.
Are there other AI tools doing similar things?
Yeah, there are others emerging, like Elicit or Semantic Scholar, which also use AI. But SciSpace seems to be aiming for a more integrated, all-in-one platform search, deep AI analysis, collaborations, citations, all in one place. That holistic approach is its differentiator, I think.
Okay, sounds powerful. But is it accessible? Is this only for big labs with big budgets?
That's important. And no, thankfully, SciSpace has a tiered pricing model, including a free tier.
Oh, good.
Yeah, the free tier gives you access to the core search and some reading features, so it's definitely usable for students or independent researchers. Then there are premium subscriptions for more heavy-duty use, unlimited AI chats, more PDF uploads, things like that, and enterprise options for institutions.
That makes it much more democratic. And is it easy to use? Or is there a steep learning curve?
From what I've seen and heard, it's designed to be pretty intuitive. Users often comment on the clean, modern interface. It seems quite straightforward to navigate, even if you're not super tech-savvy.
That's crucial for adoption. Okay, so we've covered a lot here. We started with that feeling, that sense of drowning in research papers.
Mm-hmm.
This vast, complex ocean of knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
And it seems SciSpace is offering, well, a pretty sophisticated lifeboat, maybe even a submarine, to navigate it.
That's a good analogy. Through its AI assistance, the smart search, the deep PDF dives, the collaboration tools, the citation help, it really does present a compelling package for anyone engaging with scientific literature across all levels. It aims to make that engagement more effective, more efficient.
So for you, the listener, maybe the takeaway thought is this. In this era where information just keeps accelerating, how could a tool like SciSpace change your approach, your strategy for learning, for staying current?
Right. Think about the potential, unlocking deeper understanding faster, reclaiming some of that valuable time, maybe collaborating more effectively.
It's definitely something to consider. Perhaps it's worth exploring SciSpace yourself, seeing how it might fit into your own workflow, your own quest for knowledge in this ever-expanding universe of information.